Hey everyone, welcome to another $1,000 strap search. I've got my $1,000 in singles here and I'm about to show you what I found. But before I do, let's talk about this week's tip. Now, I talked about grading a few weeks ago, and one of the things that I always try to stress to people is that grading a note does not increase the value. Okay? Let me say that again. Grading the note does not increase the value. So, what do I mean by that? Let's say you have a raw note, and that raw note, in your opinion and in the average person's opinion, grades a 20. Okay, well, if it's a 20 and that particular note is $200 in a 20, it's worth $200. Okay? Whether it's graded or not, that's a $200 note. Now, if you choose to spend the money to grade that note and it comes back graded a 20, it's still worth $200. You have not increased the value of the note by grading it. Now, if you have a note that is priced for a grade 8 or 10, and you think it might actually grade a 20, well, then buy it for that price of a 8 or 10, knowing that you think the grade is 20. If you were to then ship it off to be graded and it comes back graded 20, whatever profit you think you had, you just spent on the grading. Because if you thought that note was graded a 20 and you got it for a 8 or a 10 price, you could have sold it as a 20 for the 20 price. But instead, now if you sell it as a 20, you went and took all your profit, got it graded. Now it says 20, but when you sell it, you make nothing. So by sending a note in for grading, you have not increased the value. All you did was make it so that there is no longer a debate as to what the grade of the note actually is. And if that's your goal, then you should have probably bought a graded note to start with. Why would you want to spend all that extra money to be sending in notes for grading? What if you're wrong? What if you send in a note that was priced at a 10 or a 12 and it comes back with a grade of a 10? Well, now you've paid enough money that could have gotten you a grade 20 note, and instead you're sitting on a 10. So if the grade number is that important to you, buy a graded note. Otherwise, I find it very difficult to waste money sending the notes in for grading. Grading notes is cool, or getting graded notes are cool, but you shouldn't have to pay for them. There's enough notes that are graded out there for you to be able to find one. If you aren't good at grading yourself, well, then I would most certainly buy a graded note. Now, if you are getting good at grading notes, then you might be able to turn a little bit of a profit if there's enough in there. But you're talking about seeing a note that's supposed to be $300 or $400 in a 20 and you're picking it up for $100. Okay, yeah. Now you can ship that note out to get graded. It comes back $200 and now you can sell it for $300. Yeah, you see how there you've actually got room to play with? But as far as most notes go, if it's not graded already, you're eating into your own profit. So I really don't recommend sending in, especially sending in only one or two notes. If you're going to send in notes, make sure to send in 10 or 20 so at least you can break up some of that fee. All right, let's get these out of the way and take a look at what I found this week. We are finishing up Vegas. We are finally done. This is the last of the Vegas notes. I had 4 straps that I didn't write on, so I don't know where they came from. I have 3 straps from the Gold Coast. I have 2 from the Palms, one from the Rio. That's what I've got in these, and I was pleasantly surprised, I'll tell you that much. Let's take a peek. Found a note with a stamp. For some reason, I can't read the stamp. No idea what that says. Sync, S-I-N, or Sin City, at Sin City. That's what it is, S-I-N-C-I-T-Y. Sin City, USA. That's what it says on there. All right. Found that, just finally figured out what it said. What do I got here? 86, 86, 83, 84. It's an alternator. It's in horrible condition. That's going away, but I found it, so I wanted to pull it. Oh, look what I got here. Zeros, ones, and twos. A true trinary, once again. A true trinary. This is worth 10 times what a regular trinary is worth. What's a regular trinary worth? Nothing. What's 10 times nothing? Still nothing. That's right. What do I got here? This is actually a trinary and it's an alternator. 00703070. But yeah, an alternator and a trinary. Still no additional value. Regular trinary, 1s, 7s, and 8s. This is 0s, 8s, and 9s, which technically should be worth as much as a true trinary, right? Well, it is. It's worth face value. 4s, 6s, and 7s. Here is 5s, 7s, and 8s. 2s, 7s, and 8s. 5s, 8s, and 9s. And quads. Quad zeros, and it's a trinary, 0s, 5s, and 7s. This is kind of cool. You got quad 2s, but there are 2 other 2s on there, so it's actually 6 of a kind and a trinary, but of course if you have 6 of a kind, it's guaranteed to be at least a trinary. But yeah, 6 of a kind there, that's kind of interesting. Quad 2s again. Quad 2s with a 0, 1, 3, 4, which still doesn't mean anything. Some people, well, no, we aren't even going to go there. A birthday note that's 200 years in the future doesn't really matter. Quad 5s with a 5th. Quad 6s. Quad 9s. And some stars. 2021 star note. Checking to see if they're filled. 2017 star with some writing on it. 2013, and it's in New York. That's one of the duplicate notes. And if we check the range, it is. The range you're looking for is 032 to start with on the low side and 096 on the high side. So that's definitely in the range. You can also find ones that are 0025, 00250 and lower. Those would also be in the range too. But yeah, these were duplicated, once in Fort Worth, once in Washington. If you can put the pair together, that's like $5,000. The only problem is these notes were printed 10 years ago, if not more. And there just aren't that many out there. So most of them have been destroyed. So the odds of you actually finding a pair are slim to none. So some people sell these for like $20. Some people say these are worth much more than $20. I wouldn't even touch them. I would not buy them. Another star note, 2013. Another 2013 star. I pulled a couple 2021s because these were really crisp, and I wasn't sure if I had these, especially the I. I wasn't sure if I had that one, so I'm going to check my book with those. Then I got some older notes, 2003A, another 2003A. Pretty nice shape on this one. Another 2003A, 2003A. Got writing on it, so it's going to go away. 2003, 2001. These are actually tough to find. 1995, not a web note. 95, also not a web note. Another 95, still not a web note. Another 95, not a web note. 1981, and this came from, it's a 1981A specifically. This came from the Palms. And then I got some other stuff here. I didn't know what order to put these in, but let's take a look at it. This one came from one of the miscellaneous packs. And what's special about this one? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. It's 6 to a ladder. That's pretty. That's a pretty big deal. Six to a ladder. If you have a full ladder, if this was 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that's worth $1,500. Well, if that's worth $1,500, then if you had 7 to a ladder, that should be worth at least $150. So if you've got 6 to a ladder, well, that should be worth about $15-20, right? That's what my math says. So I found that. I thought that was cool. I put it in a sleeve. Is it in the greatest shape? No, but I can't remember ever finding one like that. So 6 descending ladder, that's pretty cool. With bookends. No, who cares about the bookends? All right, then I found a radar. 09177190. If you start on the outside and work your way in, you've got 0917. So, yeah, a radar. Now, the radar, this one came from the Gold Coast, and it's actually in really nice condition, too. For a 2017A, so it's not even the most modern note. Yeah, always proud to find one, and this one being in good shape. Very cool find. And I also found a binary. This is zeros and fives, the binary. This came from the Rio. So that was cool. The Rio normally didn't give me notes, but the last time I was out there, they did. So this particular trip, I decided to try my luck there, and they gave me notes again. So that's 2 in a row that they did, and I'm glad they did because I've got a binary. So lots of good finds to end this particular hunt. What did I pull out? Well, I pulled out an upgrader for me. I have one of these and it's in kind of rough shape, and I was able to pick up this one here as an upgrade. This is you can see right here, series of 1917 legal tender $2 note. $2 legal tender, of course, features Thomas Jefferson on there. Cool picture of him right there. You know it's a legal tender because it's got the red seal, it's got the red serial numbers on it. And check out the capital. You're talking 1917. You've got horse-drawn carriages. Look at this. There's a horse-drawn bus. Is that what that is there? I mean, that's just cool. You can see how big the dresses are here. If I zoom in too close, it starts to blur. But just a really cool picture of the Capitol. So that is always impressive. Taking a look at the back, it has what's known as the bracelet back. Now, this particular design, I should say the front design, had been in use since 1869. In fact, the $2 rainbow is the exact same note as this. The back is a little different, I think. But the front is the same design, just without the rainbow. Let's take a look at the big book. This is kind of interesting. When I was looking it up, as I start moving everything around, here is the rainbow. You can see this is the 1869 version. Has a different back on it. And if I look at the modern note, here's the back that we've got here. They put a picture of a lazy deuce. So this is an error in the book. Clearly, this is not a 1917 as they have pictured here. But yeah, there's the back there. And as we go through some of these, you can see there's the 1874 all the way through 1878. And as we check the back, here we are. The 1917, mine is Spielman and White. There's Spielman, there's White. So let's look at Spielman and White, 1917. There is a mule available, and I'll get to that in a second. So 1917, in a grade 8, starts out at $75. In a 12, you're talking $110. In a 20, you're talking $150. If you find a really nice one, you're talking between $500 and $900 for Choice 63 or Gem 65. Now, what is the actual mule portion? Now, they don't give numbers to say what the mule is, but in the appendix of Paper Money of the United States, they've got this whole thing about large size paper money mules, and they actually show you the differences. And here is the $2 legal tender, and you'll see that on the non-mule, the plate number is here, and on the mule, the plate number is here. So if we look at the clues in the picture, I can see that here is the writing, and let's look at it real good here. Okay, the mule, you can see the curved writing, has the plate number there. So here is the curved writing, and if we look, there is no plate number. The plate number, we can see it right here. And that matches up with the non-mule right here. I'll show it real close. Right there, you can see the little plate number. So we've got the non-mule version. Doesn't mean finding the mule wouldn't be cool. It just means this particular one isn't the mule. So that's what I've got for you guys this week, a 1917 $2 legal tender. If you learned anything new this week, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. Love reading all your comments. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you again next week.